The family at dawn, soft morning light, birds chirping, a humble home near the sea. In the village by the Sea of Galilee lived a woman named Salome, the wife of Zebedee. She was a mother, a wife, and a woman of deep faith. Her two sons, James and John, worked beside their father, casting nets and hauling fish under the hot Sunday. Lord, let my sons live for something greater than this world. A mother's hope. Salome, watching her sons fish, she whispers a prayer. Every morning she would pray. She didn't know her prayer was already being answered. The stranger by the shore, Jesus appears, calling the fishermen. One morning, a man named Jesus walked by. His voice carried peace, yet power. He said, "Follow me." And James and John left their nets just like that. A mother's wonder, Salome runs to Zebedee, surprised. Salome was amazed. They just left? Our sons? Zebedee sighed. Yes. They followed the teacher. Something stirred in her heart, curiosity and faith. Following from afar, Salome watches Jesus teach in the crowd. Salome began to follow from a distance. She watched Jesus heal the sick, feed the hungry, and lift the brokenhearted. Her sons were right beside him, serving, learning, growing. The mother's bold request. Salome kneels before Jesus with her sons beside her. One day, Salome came to Jesus. With trembling hands, she asked, "Lord, when you come into your kingdom, may my sons sit at your right and left hand?" She wanted the best for her children like any mother would. Jesus, gentle, reply. Jesus looks at her with kindness. Jesus looked at her with love. He said, "You don't know what you're asking. Can they drink the cup I am going to drink?" Salome didn't yet understand that cup was suffering. The lesson of the cup. The disciples look uncertain. That day, Salome learned a truth that would change her heart. Greatness in God's kingdom isn't found in thrones, but in service and sacrifice. The road to Jerusalem. The disciples walk behind Jesus, the crowd cheers. As Jesus walked toward Jerusalem, Salome's heart filled with both pride and fear. She didn't know that the same road led to the cross. The night of pain, darkness. Soldiers arrest Jesus. Confusion spreads. Then came the night when everything changed. Jesus was arrested. The city turned against him. Salome watched her sons run for their lives. The cross. Salome stands near Mary, the mother of Jesus, as he hangs on the cross. Salome stood at a distance, tears flooding her eyes. The one she believed in now, nailed to a cross. She looked at Mary, who whispered through her tears, "He is still the Son of God." The silence of Saturday. Empty streets. The disciples hide. Salome prays alone. Saturday was quiet. The world felt empty. Salome prayed, "Lord, was my faith in vain?" But heaven was not done speaking. The morning of glory. Women at the tomb, the stone rolled away. At sunrise, the women went to the tomb. The stone was rolled away, and an angel said, "He is not here, he is risen." The joy returns. Salome and her sons hear the news and rejoice. Salome ran to tell her sons. The teacher they loved, the one she once asked to make them great, had conquered death itself. And now, she saw that it was true greatness. The changed family. James and John preaching boldly. Salome watching proudly. Her sons now preached with fire. Not for fame, not for glory, but for the name above every name. Jesus. The legacy of a mother's prayer. Older Salome teaching children about Jesus. Years later, people would remember James and John, the sons of thunder. But behind their courage stood a praying mother who never stopped believing. A mother's reflection, Salome writing or whispering by the fire. Salome would say,
"When I asked Jesus for greatness, I didn't know. He would answer through the cross."
Sometimes God answers differently, but always perfectly. Passing the faith, Salome blessing the next generation. She taught her grandchildren that faith is not about crowns, but about carrying love wherever you go. Heaven's reward. Soft glow. Salome looking upward with peace. Salome's life ended not with riches, but with peace. She had seen the risen Lord. Her sons had lived for him, and her prayer for greatness in God had been fulfilled. The final words. Peaceful sunset over the Sea of Galilee. The Woman of Zebedee reminds us, a mother's prayer can change generations. True greatness is not in being served, but in serving just like Jesus.